Welcome to my How to Build a Truck Bed Camper video series. In this series, I will not be teaching you how to build a truck bed camper. This is just my experience building it, the challenges I faced, and at the beginning here, it's just pictures. I didn't get a camera until a little bit later on, so enjoy this slideshow of me rapidly building this thing over the course of 2 weeks before my wife and I and our new baby took a trip around the east coast of the United States. I've skinned it now with the Titebond 2 and drop cloth material. You can see our one little piddly window. It's better than nothing, and it got us through the trip without killing each other. You can see my plywood door because we ran out of time building a door there, and it fits nicely in the bed of the truck. Yep, we jumped in the truck and we're gone. Welcome to Georgia. No paint, no nothing. Did have an AC. So here I'm going to be making some improvements. It has a lot of seams where everything comes together, so I'm sanding it down here. I got my little DeWalt orbital sander, just trying to make it look a little bit better before I paint it. I pull out some Bondo in a little bit. That turned out to be a total waste. Yep, electric cord is not quite long enough, so yeah, that section didn't get sanded. Moved on to the back side here once I pull the truck around and point the camera directly into the sunshine for that picturesque shot. Putting on the Bondo, you can see it on the left side here. I spent far too much time trying to get the Bondo right, get it applied properly, sanding it, applying it again, sanding it again. You can see me going back, mixing it up one more time. Notice the crack in my brake light. That is Matt Hill's fault. Thanks, Matt. I was taking a jet ski out of the bed of my truck and putting it at his brother's house to store until he made me get rid of it. And when I pushed it out, the handlebar fell and cracked the taillight there. So it's leaked water since then. Alright, moving on to paint now. I've done one section with Bondo. I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to paint a section I did not do with Bondo just to give a nice comparison. This paint turned out to be pretty good. My brother recommended some very good oil-based paint. Thanks, Seth. Oil-based primer. I did not get the oil-based primer, as it turned out. I picked it up, looked at it, put it down, walked around the store, decided I was going to pay the money to get it, went back, picked up the water-based primer, so hopefully this stuff doesn't delaminate on my first trip driving down the interstate. Over on the other side now, painting it, and I'm noticing the Bondo really doesn't help that much, so I'm not going to keep Bondoing it. I'm just going to slap paint over this whole thing. It only looks so good. Built it in 2 weeks. Not that big of a deal for me to make it look perfect. I got drips from the Titebond 2 glue dripping while it was drying, put it on a little bit heavy in places, so slapping paint all over this thing. I get it mostly complete here with the primer. I end up putting a couple more coats, and here we are a few weeks later. I've primed it, painted it, picked up the window I'm putting in. The people you see around me is my sister-in-law, her baby daddy, son, other son, baby she's holding, that's Charlie. Boy in the blue shirt running around, that's Jonathan. He was no help during this project. Richard, who is probably the best assistant I've ever worked with, stands there showing me pictures of his trip, where they went, just got back from Cozumel, helping me along the way. Drilling all the pilot holes. This is a non-flange mount window out of a sleeper horse trailer. Got it off of YouTube. It's got the full emergency escape and everything, but to convert it to a flange mount, which is the way I'm going to do it because I didn't pick up the inserts or do any of that good stuff with it, Just gonna drill some holes in it and then put the screws around the bezel or the flange. That's the part that goes up against the camper. Richard goes away. He's got chickens and whatnot to take care of. You can see Jonathan jumping up and down into the camper. While I'm not there, I tell him to get out. He picks up the screwdriver and starts jabbing things with it. Yeah, that was he eventually goes away. Not that I don't enjoy hanging out with my nephew, but I was in a hurry before the sunset this time, and I didn't have time to spend the effort necessary to continue entertaining him. But he runs along somewhere. Yeah, this is when I've moved to the outside. I'm doing the best I can to make all the lines right before I cut into it. Made me pretty nervous to cut in on the outside. Here Brian and Cave showed up. Brian's gonna help me during the part in a little bit, but the video camera ran out of storage, so we're about to cut here in a minute. I do get everything cut. I'm in the inside. I'm just trying to break it out, but I have to saw a little board, take it down here, checking the fitment, brushing it off. Looks good. I take it down. I've got to add the butyl tape around it, which is the water sealant. And here we go, the camera dies. So here's my one photo of it being in the camper. And I took that on Snapchat.